Gopijana-vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopijana-vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira vanachari. Yamunatira vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana-vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopijana-vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira vanachari. Munatira vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jam Vishnupada Paravansa Parivajikacharya Ashtottara Shatasri His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jam Vishnupada Paravansa Parivajikacharya Ashtottara Shatasri His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Grandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Hare Krishna, we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, The Advent of Lord Krishna, Introduction. Today verse number 56. Ata khala upavritte Devaki sarva devata Putran prashusve chasto Kanyam chaivanuvatsaram Ata khala upavritte Devaki sarvadevata Putran prashushuve chasto Kanyam chaivanuvatsaram Atakala upavritte Devaki sarvadevata Putran prashushuve chasto Kanyam chaivanuvatsaram Atakala upavriste Devaki sarvade Chasto Devaki sarvadevata Putran prashushuve chasto Kanyan chevanya Atakala upavriste Devaki sarvadevata Putran prashushuve chasto Vaishnavis Atakala upavruste Devaki sarva devata Putran prashushuve chasto Kanyam chevanu vasaram Atakala upavritte Devaki sarva devata Putran prashushuve chasto Kanyam chevanu vasaram Atakala upavritte Devaki Putran prashushuve chasto Kanyam chevanu vasaram Ata thereafter Kale in due course of time Upavritte when it was ripe Devaki the wife of Vasudeva Krishna's father Sarva Devata Devaki to whom all the demigods and God himself appeared. Putran sons Prashushuve gave birth to Cha and Asto 8 Kanyam Cha and one daughter named Subhadra Eva indeed Anuvatsaram year after year. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Each year thereafter, in due course of time, Devaki, the mother of God and all the demigods, gave birth to a child. Thus she bore 8 sons, one after another, and a daughter named Subhadra. Purport. The spiritual master is sometimes glorified as Sarva Deva Mayo Guru. Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 7th chapter, verse 27. By the grace of the Guru, the spiritual master, one can understand the different kinds of devas. The word deva refers to God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original source of all the demigods, who are also called devas. In Bhagavad Gita 10.2, the Lord says, Aham Adihi Devanam. I am the source of all the devas. The Supreme Lord, Vishnu, the original person, expands in different forms. Tad Aikshata Bahushyam. Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. He alone has expanded into many. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Brahma Samhita 5.33. There are different grades of forms known as Swamsha and Vibhinnamsha. The Swamsha expansions are Vishnu Tattva, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas the Vibhinnamsha are Jiva Tattva, who are part and parcel of the Lord. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. If we accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worship Him, all the parts and expansions of the Lord are actually worshipped. Sarvahanam Achyutejya. Bhagavatam 4:31-14. Krishna is known as Achyuta. Shanayor Ubayor Madhye Ratam Sapayame Achyuta. By worshipping Achyuta, Krishna, one automatically worships all the demigods. There is no need of separately worshipping either Vishnu Tattva or Jiva Tattva. If one concentrates upon Krishna, one worships everyone. Therefore, because Mother Devaki gave birth to Krishna, she is described here as Sarva Devata. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Another day continuing, seeing the lotus face of Krishna. 10th canto. So today verse describing, who is speaking today's verse? Shukadeva Goswami, yes. Not Vasudeva. Shukadeva Goswami is informing Parikshit Maharaj that Mother Devaki gave 8 sons and 1 daughter in consecutive years. So what is required, what is the qualification required to hear pastimes of the Lord? What are the essential qualifications required? Not envious, that's for sure. Only those who are non-envious can hear the pastimes of the Lord. Greediness, inquisitiveness, yes, that's the foremost important qualification. We should be very, very eager and greedy to hear pastimes of the Lord. Tatra laulyam ekala mulyam. So that's the price to understand Krishna's pastimes. We see in the case of Parikshit Maharaj, he heard in the 9th canto a short description of the Lord's pastimes. But he was not happy. So he asked more, please explain me elaborately from his birth to the end, every activity he performed. So that's where 10th canto started, correct? Inquisitiveness. What other qualifications are required? Shraddha. Shraddha, yes, faith as another important quality one required. We have to have faith when we hear the pastimes of the Lord. So whatever we heard, all 9 cantos, that fixes our faith that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as long as our faith is not fixed on Krishna being Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the 10th canto will not make any sense. People will just accuse Krishna being dancing with gopis and stealing butter from neighboring houses, or cheating in the Kurukshetra during the war. But when we understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's it. We can appreciate and enjoy, not just enjoy, we get purification while hearing those pastimes. So that's why faithfulness and inquisitiveness. So these are the prime qualifications required hearing the pastimes of the Lord. But how do we develop that faith? Yes, one hearing from other cantos developed our faith. But we see there are so many Bhagavata Saptas happened from so long, but not everybody became devotee after hearing Bhagavad Sapta. So what is lacking? How we can develop that faith, firm faith? Where does faith come from? Exactly. Both correct. Associating with the faithful person, faith comes from faith. So if you associate with a devotee who has firm faith, so you get contaminated with that faith. So faith comes from faith. So it's always recommended to associate with devotees who are advanced in their faithful service to the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada created, since beginning, all his associates, followers, very firmly fixed in devotional service to the Lord. From almost 5 decades, more than 5 decades now, devotees from that time till date
they're continuously serving Srila Prabhupada mission. Unless they have that strong faith, it's not so easy. It's not so easy. And we hear in our congregation itself, the best example we have here is Jnana Samudra Prabhu. Last 5 decades, Prabhu is serving Srila Prabhupada mission here since its beginning in Melbourne. And we have so many examples. Recently we had the association of His Holiness Prahaladnanda Maharaj. He was one of the initial devotees. 5 decades. 5 decades. Can you imagine doing the same thing day after day, week after year, year after year, chanting the holy name, serving, going out, book distribution. And Maharaj pretty much knows every verse, every word in Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Not just that, they took so much trouble serving Srila Prabhupada mission. Imagine going to communist countries and distributing books undercover. And like Vasudeva was, when Kamsa lifted his sword to kill Devaki, it was just point blank. So similarly, devotees face such situations. When they were distributing books, they were caught red-handed, took them to the jail, and the police inspector, they put a gun, trigger also pressed. At that time, you can imagine their consciousness. They're still fixed in their consciousness, serving Srila Prabhupada. They continued. And they're still serving now. So how much faith they had. So when we take association of those devotees, that how the science of devotional service works, so our faith becomes solidified. Then whatever we are doing, that makes absolutely sense. In the beginning, it may not make any sense. So we are chanting same 16 rounds, but it's like, beating a hollow drum. Not any rhythm or doesn't make any sense in the kirtan. Or when we're chanting, where the tears, where the ecstasy, it doesn't come. But when we follow their footsteps, continue. So eventually we develop that firm faith and all the results of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and performing devotional activities. So faith is very, very important. And whenever in our dealings, all our dealings should be enhancing faith of the person with whom we are speaking, with whom we are associating, with whom all our deeds and activities are. So when we go out for book distribution or Harinam Sankirtan or Prasadam distribution or giving any class, so it should enhance the faith of the person to whom we are giving our association. So it should not put their faith down. It's very important activity. Because in this world, we can miss anything. We can lose anything. You may lose millions of dollars, or riches, greatest riches. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't lose anything. But if one loses their faith on the Supreme Lord, faith on the scriptures, faith on the holy name, that's the biggest loss. So faith is the most important thing. So when we hear from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, when we hear from the devotees who dedicated their life, so our faith restores. And especially when we see every situation in terms of our spiritual progress in this world, while we are in this body. So if we center everything about Krishna consciousness, so our faith gradually increases. So if we want to make a peaceful life adjustment in this world, it's so difficult because it doesn't happen. In the beginning of the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that the spiritual master is sometimes glorified as Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. In the 11th canto, Uddhava Gita, Uddhava asks so many questions. In reply to those questions, Krishna tells this verse in the case of devotional service. He says, Acharya mam avijanati. So, Acharya, spiritual master, is non-different to Krishna. Acharya mam vijaniyam na nava manyeta karhichit. So, he is equal to Krishna, and one should not insult or see him on a lower position. And then, na matya buddha shruyeta. So, and one should not consider he is like a normal human being, not ordinary human being. Spiritual master is always above. Every morning we sing Gurvashtakam. So in that, the seventh one we sing Saksha Daritvena Samasta Shastre Uktasya Taba Vyata Eva Sadbhi. So he is equally glorified. Why he is equally glorified as Krishna?
Because he is also Krishna. Like that, Guru is also Krishna. But not like Krishna, but he reaches us to Krishna.
Any other points? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, he delivers the same message as Krishna. Yeah, spiritual master is the most loyal and trusted servant of Krishna. Any other thoughts? He is the representative of Krishna. Yes, all these are correct. All these are correct. So Guru is representative of the Lord. Krishna, Chaitya Guru, he is present in everyone's heart. And the same Guru, same Chaitya Guru, externally manifested as spiritual master. So, he is Krishna in the heart is Chaitya Guru. Externally, the spiritual master is called Ashraya Vigraha. Is called Ashraya Vigraha. So one can take complete shelter of spiritual master to fulfill all the desires one has. All the desires. Generally, people go to fulfill their desires. It may be material desire or any desire. They go to different demigods. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, 2nd canto, chapter 2, describes different demigods, why they go to particular demigod. After describing all the list of demigods from verse number 2 to 9, Sukadeva Goswami informs Parikshit Maharaj, Akama sarvakamava moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So whether you have full of material desires, no material desires, or desire for liberation, moksha kama, udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So with tivra means intensity. So like sun rays, today is 40-degree forecast, so very intense sun. If you capture all these sun rays to a magnifying glass and make it to one beam, have you ever tried that? Yeah? And make it to one beam and project it to any paper, that paper burns. So similarly, all our desires intensify in worshipping Krishna and concentrate, tivrena, bhakti yogana, perform all our devotional activities that burns material desires to its core, also naturally invokes our natural devotion. Like when you put that magnifying glass to any wood or something, so that burns that wood. When the wood gets burned, there is no fire at this stage. You cannot say any fire. But when it catches another fire, it brings that natural fire which is dormant inside. Similarly, when we perform devotional activity, that natural devotion invokes. But where do we get that intensity? How do we develop that intensity? Again, in the association of spiritual master especially. So you see in your own case, when spiritual master comes or when advanced devotees come, it's so intense with them. I have my personal experience serving my spiritual master. He stays here only for 2-3 days, but those 2-3 days are enough, feeling so tired. Because they are so intense in their dedication serving Srila Prabhupada. So when we follow their footsteps and perform our devotional activity, that becomes Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. So when we perform with that intensity, that's the success of our life. So spiritual master directs us with whatever motivation we may approach our spiritual master directs that in serving Krishna. So we have best example in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Who is that best example? Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj approached. He was not even approached Narada Muni. He was going to the forest. Narada Muni stopped him. And he guided on a right path. Okay, you want to fulfill the desire? No problem. But practice this. And then with so much intensity, Dhruva Maharaj practiced devotional service, although he doesn't know what he is getting into. At the end, when Lord appeared, Lord offered benediction. He said, no, I don't want any benediction. So I have seen you, I'm so much satisfied. I came for broken pieces of glasses, but I got a jewel, diamond. I don't want anything. You see that purification instantly happens? So Guru works like a GPS. So we are in this world, we are going different places. We all got this experience using GPS. We go any place, unknown places, just trusting on GPS we can go. Recently, I was going from Kolak to Bendigo. We never traveled in that route. It was first time going in that route. We trusted our dear GPS. Please take us to Bendigo for a Buddhist gathering. So we started from Kolak. It took us to Balrat in the middle. So GPS shows 2 directions, shorter way, faster way, and toll way like that. So we picked one shorter way. And there was no road, gravel road. Still we had full faith on Google. So we followed. It was 13 kilometers of gravel. No car was around. Imagine there was a puncture. No way to get out. But we reached finally. Similarly, when we put complete faith on Guru, who is like GPS directing us, we are lost in this world. We want to achieve so many things. Like we put faith on GPS to reach the destination. Similarly, if we put complete faith on GPS, back in days when I was studying bachelor's, so I had my first job interview. I had to go from Andhra Pradesh to Bombay for attending job interview. That was the first time I went to Bombay. I don't know anything. So reached Bombay CST station, Chhatrapati Shivaji terminal. So from there, with the help of police, got a taxi. And I had to reach particular location. I can't remember. Went there asking for, where is this house? And I asked so many people. Taxi driver spoke in local language. He was asking, where is this house? Everyone comes forward. He says, हमने कहीं नहीं देखा. Means I have seen this house somewhere. I know, maybe this is this. Maybe this is that. We wasted more than 1 hour searching one house. And finally we rang that hotel, asked, where is your house? That person came out. It was just right in front. In the world, we approach spiritual path to seek a spiritual path. In India, you ask any person, how to perform such and such spiritual activity. Everybody will give hundreds of suggestions, but that does not work. So we need to go a GPS which is coming in Parampara system. So that GPS is Guru Parampara system. So we have that GPS readily available. When we go an authorized Guru Parampara system, they will take us to the right destination. Other than that, there are so many people available on the internet. If you ask them, you will end up somewhere in Brahmajyoti or in the hell or somewhere. What happens if that person is preaching you are God, you will end up in the hell. If some person is preaching that you can also enjoy Srimati Radharani like Krishna, then adogachanti. Not even adogachanti, one go to demoniac species. They may look like Vaishnava with all full and so many Rudrakshas and Tulasi around their neck. But if their core philosophy is not correct and you are taking that direction, so you will end up somewhere abominable situation. So following the instructions of authorized Guru Parampara system is very, very important. Very important. And don't get lost in cheating. So it's very important these days. And we have this taking shelter of Guru right from the beginning of creation. Who was the first person took shelter of a Guru? Brahma himself. He meditated so long for directions. Lord himself as Chaitya Guru, he gave directions to Lord Brahma. In the second canto we hear Chatusloki Bhagavatam. So Lord says Brahmaji, beginning of the Chatusloki, those 4 verses, he tells Brahma that Jnanam Paramam Guhyam me Yad Vijnana Samanvitam Sa Rahasyam Tad Angam Cha Gruhana Gaditam Maya. So Lord says, so I am going to instruct you. And what are those instructions? Jnanam. So he is going to give knowledge of devotional service, knowledge about himself, knowledge about all the manifestations of the Lord and his forms. Jnanam. Paramam Guhyam. And it is the most secret. Devotional service is not so cheap. It's the secret of all the secrets. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells from the beginning to the end. One time he says Guhyam. And next time he says Guhyataram. And next he says Guhyatamam. And then finally he says Guhyat Guhyatamam. Secret of all the secrets. That's where Krishna says about his love for the living entity. So devotional service is the most secret of all the secrets. But we are so fortunate coming in contact with Srila Prabhupada. It's readily available for us. It's like an open secret, encrypted with faith. And Krishna tells, please hear attentively what I shall speak to you. For transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific, but also full of mysteries. Why it is scientific? Yeah. So that means, yes, Prabhu, please. Yes, same. So it is scientific. Everybody get the same result. Whoever follows the formula, they get the same result. So that's why the science of devotional service is scientific. We all have that experience. Rasagulla tastes similar. Correct? But when we mature in devotional service, you can taste the highest taste of Rasagulla. Because you taste the Mahaprasad. And Vijnana. So Vijnana referring to mercy of the Lord in this verse. So it's the mercy of the Lord that He is revealing knowledge to us. So it's not that whoever opens the book, they will have the same realization. It's Eyata Mam Prapadyante Tam Tataiva Bhajamyaham. One may quote hundreds and hundreds of verses. Even this, what's his name? Muslim preacher, he was banned. Zakir Naik. He can quote verses from scriptures like anything, but he cannot understand any purport. That's the truth. In order to understand, one have to have bhakti. And that bhakti is the mercy of the Lord. So we have to beg for that mercy when we read Srila Prabhupada books. We need to beg mercy of Srila Prabhupada to understand his purports. We need to beg mercy of the Lord to understand what is it actually. Krishna has to reveal. So everyone has this experience. In the beginning years, our reading of Bhagavad Gita, it doesn't make any sense. You read the verse, by the time you reach the last line of the page, you forget what you read in the first page, first line. And many devotees complain, I cannot understand anything what is happening in this book. But over the years, same verse you read again, says, I never thought this verse is like this. Makes completely different presentation, you see. Why? Because these books are dynamic. These books are dynamic. Krishna himself reveals based on our advancement. So, for that reason, it is recommended to read Srila Prabhupada books over and over and over and over until our last breath. Because Prabhupada translated these books until his last breath. So we should read until our last breath, even after if possible. So it's very important. We cannot take our knowledge. We cannot take how many slokas you memorize. We take along with us how much realization we developed through reading Prabhupada purports. How much realization we develop reading particular verse from that memorization of the verse. Because our memory will last just with one stroke. If one gets a ischemic stroke, they will, if dementia or Alzheimer's come, all the memory gone. But if one realizes Krishna in reading, that will not be lost. Because that is beyond the material realm. So while reading, we need to develop that vijnana, that mercy of the Lord. And then, tat angam, in this verse, Krishna is mentioning different processes of devotional service. Krishna is personally instructing Lord Brahma about different processes of devotional service. Then he says, Lord says, Yavan aham yata bhavo yadrupam guna karmakaha tataiva tattva vijnanam astu te mad anugrahat. So here Krishna is telling, by my causeless mercy, be enlightened in truth about my personality, manifestation, qualities and pastimes. So 4 things. About the personality of the Lord, about his different manifestations, his qualities and pastimes. Krishna as a guru, he is giving all this. So every morning when we sing Guru Ashtakam, we also glorify Guru. Correct? In that, Sri Radhika Madhava Vayorapa, Sri Radhika Madhava Vayorapa, Madhurya Lila Gunarupa Namnam. So these are the 5 things. So Guru always, whenever he speaks on these 5 subject matters. Madhurya, Krishna's sweetness, his pastimes, Leela, his guna, different qualities. Leela, guna, rupa is form and nama. So these are very important. And when we approach a bona fide spiritual master, so we will not lose anything. So we will get everything covered. And first thing in our devotional service, what is among the 5, what is most important for us to realize or get hooked to? Nama Sankirtana. Yeah, among all the different processes, Nama Sankirtana is the best. From Nama, one develops Rupa realization about the form of the Lord. And from the form, one understands the qualities of the Lord. And from the qualities of the Lord, one understands the pastimes of the Lord. So it's a scientific, you see the progression. So the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the most important, and it has everything required for us to progress in spiritual life. So the method, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different to Radha and Krishna. He is in Sachidananda form, correct? So when he is in Sachidananda form, he will not use anything, any method that which is not in Sachidananda. So that means Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used Hare Krishna Mahamantra to preach, which is spiritual. Because he will not touch anything matter. So therefore the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is non-material. So Narottam Das Thakur sings, Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. So he is the treasure of Goloka Vrindavan. So we beg spiritual master, please give me the taste of Hare Krishna Mahamantra to chant. And then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explained, and next one, from Nama we understand the Rupa, form. And Lord has unlimited forms, correct? Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam, Adhyam, Purana Purusham, Navayavanam cha. But Vedeshu Durlabham, Adurlabham Atma Bhakto, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. He has Advaitam, Achyutam, non-material, and never falls down. Anantam Anadim, so it's unlimited forms he has. And where do we get that understanding? Again, when we take shelter of Ashraya Vigraha, spiritual master, he reveals all those forms. So when Brahma approached Krishna, he revealed all this. Similarly, when we approach Srila Prabhupada, when we approach our Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru for us, all of us, only one Siksha Guru, that is Srila Prabhupada. Diksha Guru may be different. All the Siksha directly ending at Srila Prabhupada. That's why he is preeminent Siksha Guru for next 10,000 years at least. So what are the different forms? Krishna has three principal forms. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Rupa Goswami approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu gave instruction to Srila Rupa Goswami. In the chapter 20 of Madhya Leela, Mahaprabhu says this, Bhakte Bhagavanera Anubhava Purna Rupa Ekaya Vigraha Tanra Ananta Swarupa. Only by devotional activity can one understand the transcendental form of the Lord, which is perfect in all respects. Although his form is one, he can expand his form into unlimited numbers by his supreme will. So those unlimited forms are categorized in three. So those are Swayam Rupa, Tadekatma Rupa, Avesha Rupa. Swayam Rupa is direct manifestation. So that is Etecham Sakala Pumsham Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna, the Swayam Bhagavan, is Swayam Rupa of the Lord. And that Swayam Rupa form is the original form. So when Krishna comes to earthly Vrindavan, he will come in his original form, in Swayam form. So Krishna will never leave Vrindavan because he always stays in his original form in Vrindavan. When Akrura came to take Krishna, so that's Vasudeva Krishna went from Vrindavan to Dwaraka. That Krishna who came from Dwaraka to Vrindavan, Vasudeva, in next chapters we read, Vasudeva brought Krishna. How did Krishna appear in the beginning? 4-handed form. Then he transferred himself to 2-handed form. That form brought to Vrindavan. So that is Vasudeva Krishna. The 4-handed form that Krishna appeared is called Vaibhava Prakasha. So there are the Swayam Rupa divided into two, Vaibhava Prakasha and Prabhava. Swayam Prakasha. Swayam Prakasha is Swayam Rupa, original form. So that will not leave Vrindavan, always stays as cowherd boy in Vrindavan. And then Tadekatma Rupa exists simultaneously with Swayam Rupa. So who exists simultaneously with Krishna? Balaram. So that Tadekatma Rupa, there are two types, Swamsha and Vilasa. Swamsha forms are the same form with multiple expansions with little bit difference in them. Maybe color is different, that's Balaram. Sometimes holding the weapons are different and their activities are different, qualities are different. So they are Swamsha, like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrsimha, they are all Swamsha forms. Whereas Vilasa forms in Tadekatma Rupa are Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Sankarshana in the 4 quadruple. And then from those 4 quadruples, we see Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda. So all these 12 different Narayana expansions. And again 24 total. So these 4 hands, they have 4 symbols. Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. Depends on where this symbol is. If upper right hand has lotus and the left hand has Shankha and bottom left has Gada and Shankha in the other hand. So his name is like that. If 4 hands have different symbols, rotation, so there's a total 24 Vishnu Tattvas. They are Tadekatma Rupa, Vilasa Rupas. And then Avesha Rupa. Avesha Rupa, a living entity empowered by the Lord. And Krishna invests his own potencies in a jiva. So like Kriya Shakti, material manifestation, creation, who got that empowerment? Lord Brahma. And Jnana Shakti, who got knowledge? Kumaras. And then who got Bhakti Shakti? Narada Muni. And who got ruling empowerment? Prithu Maharaj. So like that, there are so many Avesha avatars. So these are different incarnations of the Lord, avatars. And all these avatars, Prabhupada makes another very interesting comment in this. By worshipping Achyuta, Krishna, one automatically worships all the demigods. Therefore, there is no need of separately worshipping either the Vishnu Tattva or Jnana Tattva. Jiva Tattva. Vishnu Tattva or Jiva Tattva. Why is that? So Prabhupada is saying, no need to worship Vishnu Tattva also. Because Vishnu Tattva, just now we heard, coming from the expansion of the Lord himself. So then Prabhupada quoted this verse from 4th canto, where these 4 Kumaras are informing Prithu Maharaj, Yata taror mula nishevayena. So like watering at the root of a tree, you don't need to water separate branch and leaves separately. So similarly, worshipping Vishnu or Krishna, not Vishnu even, Krishna directly. So you worship all the Vishnu Tattvas and different demigods and including Jivas as well. So when Mother Yashoda asked Krishna to open the mouth, Mother Yashoda saw entire universe in the belly of the Lord, including herself seeing Krishna's mouth in the belly. So it is mentioned that when Krishna drinks milk from Mother Yashoda, all the living entities, including you and me, also drinking. Because we are all in the belly of the Lord. Because all the universe in the belly of the Lord. So she is also Sarvadevata. Devaki is Sarvadevata. And Devaki also Sarvadevata because she gave birth to Krishna, who is holding all the different incarnations, jivas and devas. So with that, we should firmly fix our devotion to Krishna exclusively. In the Manmana Bhava Madbhakto verse of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, purport Srila Prabhupada writes, when Krishna is telling Manmana Bhava Madbhakto, it is directly Krishna is telling not any Rama or Varaha or Matsya Kurma, exclusively to the two-handed form of Krishna, Rajendra Nandan. So that's the highest form of worship. Although we are the lowest, at least myself, we should concentrate on the highest form, Nama Sankirtan, chanting the holy names, and worshipping the deity form, the highest book, Bhagavatam, Mathura. So wherever Lord is present, not different, Sundavan. So we should concentrate on that with greater intensity. So year after year, we should intensify our devotional service. It's not that intensifying means you sit in a fire around. No, not that sort of intensifying. Intensifying means removing whatever is holding us back in progress to Krishna consciousness. Okay? Serious devotee is not having a serious face. Serious devotee means he will not, mock around when he perform devotional service. So he is a serious devotee. Otherwise, if we keep a serious face, we'll develop Narsimha Bhav. We don't want that. And Gopi Bhav is not that wearing a sari and having bangles. No, the mood. So means whatever it is, my priority is to please Krishna. So that is what we need to develop. Okay, I'll stop here. Any corrections, comments, questions, please feel free to ask.
So wonderfully you explained, Prabhu, so scrutinizingly. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I just want to clarify what I heard before. I heard that three kinds of guru, about the Chaitya Guru and Diksha Guru is different, I heard. And in CC it's mentioned that Jivero Nistharo Lagi Nanda Sutahori Bhuvane Prakashon Guru Rupo Dhari. So the Diksha Guru came directly from Krishna's form. But as you mentioned that it came from Chaitya Guru, so Chaitya Guru is different Guru and Diksha Guru is like, there are different kinds of Chaitya Guru, Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. So can you clarify that point, please?
You already quoted the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. What clarification is required? Thank you. We'll have to go to that verse. Maybe we'll read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. But thank you for clarifying that. Any other? Yes, Prabhu.
Vigraha, Shri Guru, because many people wonder, many people think that they know how to trap of that I can purify myself by my own endeavor, I can become elevated. But they actually require the shelter of the Guru, and he's empowered to understand what the disciple needs.
Yeah.
We can't do it alone. So that's a very good point. Thank you.
Thank you. It's very important because we don't have that capacity at this stage to discriminate between our mind dictation or our actual ability in performing certain activity. So Guru knows what we are really good at and how it can purify us to progress. So we may have particular liking, but that liking may create bondage in the material world. So whereas when we follow the instructions of Guru, taking shelter of him, and that actually elevates us. Once I went to my spiritual master and asked him, Guru Maharaj, what particular service I should do for you? So I was hoping he will say a particular service, go for book distribution, go for Harinam, like that I was thinking. Then he simply said, Brahmachari means humble servant. That's it. One line, finish. That means whatever service come, do it. So, like that. Yeah, this is very important. And we should not go to Guru with a hidden agenda in the mind to convince Guru that what I want to do. So we should be open in our conversation and accept and follow it 100%. Later years, you will realize actually it was the best decision I took, following my Guru's instruction. I did not go as per my wish, but rather I went as per my Guru's wish. So that purifies. In Guru's instructions, all the blessings are there to execute those instructions, and it's already decided. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna instructed Arjuna to kill, so his blessings are there, and all the setup is already done. In the 11th canto, 11th chapter, you say, Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi. You just become an instrument. I already killed all of them. So everything is done. Only time separates. So similarly, when Srila Prabhupada got instructions through his spiritual master in 1922, that you go to West and preach, Prabhupada waited all these years, but everything is manifested. So it's just a time separating. You see, when Prabhupada met a conductor in the park, so Prabhupada told him, I have so many temples, so many disciples. It's all right, but Prabhupada was on the bench. Nothing was there that time, 1965. But Srila Prabhupada already saw that because his Guru gave instruction, so it's already manifested. So it's our endeavor makes us glorified. Thank you for...
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is the Shiksha Guru also a representative of the Chaitya Guru?
That's what it is mentioned. If you want, I will go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. In the first chapter of Adilila, very clearly mentioned about Guru. Yeah, in the verse 58, since one cannot visually experience the presence of Super Soul, he appears before us as liberated devotee, such as spiritual master is none other than Krishna himself. Adilila, 58 verse. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, it is not possible for a conditioned soul to directly meet Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if one becomes a sincere devotee and seriously engages in devotional service, and Krishna sends an instructing spiritual master to show him favor and invoke his dormant propensity for serving the Supreme, the preceptor appears before the external senses of the fortunate conditioned soul, and at the same time, the devotee is guided from within by the Chaitya Guru, Krishna, who is seated as the spiritual master within the heart of the living entity. And for a normal living entity, Super Soul is separate. Super Soul, Krishna's expansion as Karanaloka Sai Vishnu. But for a devotee, Krishna himself acts as a Super Soul, Chaitya Guru. So that's the difference. He directly takes charge. Spiritual master. 58, Prabhu. 58.
So does that mean that not everyone can be our Shiksha Guru? Because sometimes we use the Shiksha Guru terminology quite loosely.
Very.
So we have to be very careful.
Exactly.
Yes.
We are parrots only. So all the Shiksha Gurus whom we accept, in general, we are just repeating what Srila Prabhupada has given us. So our Shiksha Guru is Srila Prabhupada, his books. And all are facilitating, directing Vatma Pratarshika Gurus to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada. So in our preaching endeavors, this is one of the most important things. We don't artificially become a Shiksha Guru. We should direct whoever come to take instructions from us, direct them to Srila Prabhupada, Shiksha. So on our own, at least myself I am saying, or those equal in my category I'm telling, we haven't developed any spiritual progress yet. Maybe tiny bit, maybe 0.0001%. So with that, we don't have much capacity to give complete instructions. Rather, we take complete shelter of Srila Prabhupada purport instructions and direct that person to do the same thing. So in that way, they get benefit. So book distribution, we are all working as a Vatma Pratarshika Guru to give them Shiksha of Srila Prabhupada. When they accept, you see, any person, even without association of devotees, they make it some progress when they read Srila Prabhupada books. Correct? Yeah. Yes. Lies.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Rasikandra Prabhu also mentioned about the Shiksha Guru, and then that we have to be careful in getting Shiksha from, like who to get Shiksha from.
Yes.
So my question is about, like when a Shiksha Guru gives instructions or advice, like is it usually taken as an advice? Is it good to take it as an advice, not like literal instruction that you have to follow, but as an advice, and then you decide later on what to do? Or like, because sometimes it may contradict, you go to different person.
Yes, it is very important to take advice and other instructions. But say for example, if I am facing toothache, from whom I should take advice? A dentist, correct. If I am facing some mechanical issue in the car, whom should I take advice from? A mechanic. So we need to know what advice we are taking from whom, and when we seek advice of a particular profession, we try to seek who is good in that profession, correct? Similarly, when you take advice, spiritual advice, don't take from those who are already struggling like us. Prabhuji, I'm not able to get up for Mangalarti. Ask somebody who is not ever coming only once in a year, Janmashtami day. If you ask such devotee, they will say, Prabhu, that's okay, Prabhuji. Mangalarti is not required. Prabhupada said, health is first. So such kind of person's advice doesn't make any sense. So we need to seek those who are advanced, realized, and who are well-wishers to us and non-envious. So all those categories we need to consider. And we have readily available in our congregation so many advanced devotees, especially in ashram we have Goparandesh Prabhu, Arjun Saka Prabhu, Dvija Pitambar Prabhu. They are last 15 years plus in the ashram. So they can really help when we go to seeking advice from such devotees. In the congregation we have so many other devotees like that. Jagannath Ram Prabhu, Nityananda Priya Prabhu is there, Ojashvi Prabhu. And you see, those devotees' advice really beneficial. In the initial, they may be very tough. When you go, same Mangalarti question, they may say, yes, Prabhu, please sleep early. But it is so difficult to sleep early. But that works. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, yeah.
Thank you for the nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you mentioned at the start of the class that when we are with pure devotees, our bhakti intensifies because the pure devotees' bhakti is so intense. So, Prabhu, sometimes when we're in kirtan and when we're dancing and chanting, we feel that internal bliss, intense bliss inside us. So, is that bliss coming from the devotees around us who are chanting and dancing? Or can it also sometimes be our own sincerity and bhakti that we've been doing?
So definitely it comes from the holy name. In the kirtan, the most important aspect of kirtan is the chanting. So when we chant in the kirtan so loudly, that naturally brings our inner bliss. Some devotees, when they attend kirtan, they like the kartal playing or just a mridanga beat or the harmonium tune. They don't sing. They appreciate the musical presentation, but they don't appreciate the name itself. But irrespective of whoever present in the kirtan, knowingly, unknowingly they are hearing. So naturally they feel very happy. But in order to experience and carry forward the experience of kirtan, one should chant so loudly, so intensely. So then you really taste a little bit of nectar of the kirtan, holy name. Because it is non-different to Krishna. Everyone who chants, they will experience Krishna taste. And in order to carry forward that, we need to develop our attachment to chanting the holy names of the Lord throughout the day. Throughout the day. Kirtaniya Sadahari. So it's not just 16 rounds finished. No. Many times we see this difference among the Kirtaniyas. They have very much attachment for singing the kirtan, but not much attachment to their beads. That chanting the 16 rounds. As soon as their hand touches the Japamala, Nidra Devi Avahayami. That's why Sankirtan is very important. Chanting the holy names. You cannot sleep, at least because of the drums and the kartal. So, congregational. But that is like a congregational. So what is the word they say? Chanting japa is like a nikunja seva, personal one-to-one conversation with Krishna, whereas this is group discussion. So we need to relish one-to-one conversation with Krishna also. That means our japa. So when we practice our japa so intensely and so purely, attentively, when we chant in the kirtan, so that gives 1,000-fold experience. So both are important.
So sometimes, we take it for granted that we're with the pure devotees and we're getting this intense bhakti. But sometimes when we're chanting by ourselves, that intensity or that bliss doesn't come. So how do we conduct ourselves in a way that, we get that bliss when we're chanting by ourselves?
Yeah. So it's only through begging. It's only through begging. Spiritual master, same. In the case of spiritual master, we have Vani and Vapu, correct? So in the Vapu's presence, we feel that intensity. As Srila Prabhupada always says, I never felt disconnected from my spiritual master. I always feel his presence. So we should also develop that presence of our spiritual master in day to day, and same thing applicable to chanting. So in that devotee association, yes, it's feeling good. So when we are doing alone also, we should beg that association from Krishna. And we should beg Krishna, please give me that relishment. So in that prayerful mode, we get that. So 3 P's, Sachinandana Maharaj says in chanting. First P is posture, and second P is the prayer. What is the third P? Huh? Pronunciation, yes. So these three are very important. Pronunciation means when you're chanting, chant nicely. So these three are very important. Okay? Practice it. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Grandhara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Jayadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna.